yeah, it's been a few more nights now. You know, you can continue your investigations, and you've been trying your meditation, your keep your diet and your herbal teas and all that going so that you can try to get a restful sleep. The past few nights you haven't really gotten anywhere again. They're just sporadic photo stills of like things you've seen. You try to think about it, and it starts to form, and then it vanishes again, right?
Yeah.
And so basically like before, it starts out with the storms and the forest and that, right? And the whole sequence plays out, once again. And only this time, when you get to getting struck by the lightning, instead of sort of resisting it, you sort of embrace it this time, right? Prepare yourself for the pain. You know what's coming. You've been here before, right? And when you do and it impacts you, it's like you seem to explode out, and it's almost like your mind explodes, right? And as you do this, it's like you touch thousands of minds simultaneously at once, right? So yeah, there you are, you get struck and you sort of give this mental blast out, sort of in retaliation at this overload, because you just get overwhelmed, it all comes in, and then you sort of lash out because you get flooded with all these minds. And it's like when you do this, like everything just explodes, and like this nuclear mushroom cloud just erupts over the city, and like as you explode, the city explodes, and you can just see the buildings get knocked over and the shockwave, and then the flames are just melting everything in its path, right? And it's the concussion like knocks you back, but you resist. You don't want to have things interfering and waking you up again, and you're trying to push, and it's like you're as the dust settles, it's almost like you're in Pompeii or something, because there's all these people, everything's covered in ash, right? And everything's frozen in this weird state of calm. Yeah, that's sort of when you wake up, right? The nuclear blast erupts, and everything gets covered in black and ash, and sort of fades, and then you just, and it's not like before you like woke up, the startles or jolts or things like that. It's just like mysterious kind of, calm about it, right?
Mm-hmm. So I definitely embraced this dream and explored it a bit more than the other ones so far.
Yeah, you're managing to.
I woke up with more of an understanding after embracing the lightning.
Yeah, and it's sort of like
understood that I was more instrumental.
Yeah, the more you can sort of get to a more lucid state.
Yeah.
The easier it is for you to be able to press forward with it.
I just heard a lot of stuff, and I couldn't make any of it out. And
yeah.
It was like listening to a static radio where every single piece of static
voices talking at once, like just a bunch of mumbles, right? Like everybody talking over everybody. You can't hear any single person, right? Because there's too many talking, right? A couple more nights go by, right? And since the last vision, because it's been so unsettling with the whole, big explosion, this Pompeii-like environment, and the unsettling uneasiness when you wake up. It was almost like that feeling of death, right? It's too peaceful, it was too dead and too cold. It's been so unnerving on you, right? You haven't been able to talk about it, you haven't brought it up, it's, you know, your partner in the office, there's something, you know, about that. And so, you know, it's been a few nights, you haven't been able to get to sleep, get to that REM stage, you're trying all your remedies and stuff. You're almost to the point of where, like, you're thinking about drugs, right? To fucking knock you out so that you can, you know, get a proper night's sleep, and, you know, thinking about, hey, going down to the lab, get something prescribed, you know? And, so, like, it's now, you know, been a few days, starting to get noticed at work and stuff, you're starting to nod off for a bit at work, right? Partner's starting to notice, your superior's starting to notice, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and every time you nod off, it seems like you go back to that place, where it's that wasteland, everything's dust and ash, right? And it's just desolate. You'll nod off at work or whatever, at home, you know, at your table with your meal or whatever, and then there you are back to, like, you know, just wandering this frickin', you know, desolate landscape. And this goes on for like days, and you are like getting tired of wandering in this wasteland endlessly, right? And every time you nod off, and it's never just like, you can't really get past that dream thing. It's, you know, those in-between states, especially if you had a lot of coffee, you try to sleep and you're half awake, half asleep, and you're sort of dreaming but not quite asleep, you know, and any little, you know, thing that can jar you out of sleep, you know, gives you that jolt, and you wake back up, and you're, you know, so it's getting so exhausting that even in when you nod off and are wandering around, you're sleepy in that dream, right? You're tired in the dream, and now you're getting to this point where you're like, now I have to relax in my dream, and you're starting to fall asleep in your dream. So you'd be wandering around, you'll like find a rock or some rubble, and you'll sit down on it, and you start to fall asleep in this dream. And you know, you're starting to have this dream within a dream. Once you get to that level, you sort of fall asleep in your dream. It's like, then the ground sort of comes alive around you. It springs up, and all this vegetation starts growing out of the earth. You know, trees shoot up, and grass gets tall, and, you know, there's brush and shrubberies spring up, and, you know, kind of exotic plants you've never seen before. And so you sort of, you know, get up, and you're watching this jungle erupt around you. So yeah, as you're doing that, and, you know, the sort of like the sun's rising up, like a new day is starting kind of thing, and you know, this lush landscape appears before you. You know, and the rains start up again. You know, it starts off as a, you know, calm, soothing rain, but it's like, as you're looking at the landscape, you know, start to see like, let's see here. So yeah, got the desolate landscape, you know, everything in ruins, everything in ash, and then this like jungle erupts, and it's like the cities before, instead of being like the, you know, this barren, ashy landscape, it's like they transform into these, like, you know, ancient ruins, sort of camouflaged by the jungle, right? You know, within this jungle and the, you know, these ruins, you see this out of place sort of silhouette, you know, over there in the midst of this jungle. So you sort of try to make your way there through the thicket and stuff, and as you approach and get closer, you realize it's like a medieval castle. You know, as you approach it, you notice that there's like some sort of army with knights in armor, and you know, they're firing bows and stuff into the sky. This dragon swoops down out of the sky and sort of like lands on this castle, right? And it like crumbles it, crushing it under its might. It blasts this flame out, you know, shooting it at these soldiers in armor. You know, it's like snapping soldiers in its maw, you know, laying waste to the countryside, setting everything on fire again, right? And you know, so like this blast of flame comes at you because the dragon, you know, breathes it out as it's breathing all over the landscape. And you get hit by this blast of fire, and you know, like, so you sort of shield yourself because the fire erupts, and it's, you know, you look back again, and like everything's on fire, and it's like this roaring inferno. But as the flames sort of like die down and start to smother, you know, there's like this image of this pope, and it's on the edge of this city, right? You know, over this bridge. It's hovering on this bridge over a city, and it's like kind of surreal because it like flickers and skips in and out like a video stream, you know, encountering static, right? So it's like a solid image, and then it isn't, and then it's kind of transparent. It's, you know, kind of
like
jumpy. Yeah, exactly. So and it hovers above the bridge, and it like sweeps its arm like this, like it's, as if it's presenting something to you, right? And as it does this, there's this this massive wave of people like start pouring over the bridge, right? Just this crowd, this mob, right? And as they do, you know, you know, are trying to like see what's going on. You like realize everybody's, you know, in a panic. You're sort of approaching this bridge, trying to get a closer look, and then you're trying to figure out, you know, why are they panicking? What's going on? Is, you know, something chasing them? You know, and then you realize that there's some of these civilians are attacking others, right? And it's almost like there's these brawls erupting. You know, some random person will start, you know, massively, savagely attacking another. Bloody, ravenous people attacking others, right? And this bridge is essentially getting bottlenecked with all these people trying to clamber across, right? And you know, while some are ripping others apart, others are like falling over the edge of the bridge, dropping in the water, sort of, you know, bottlenecking around the sides and going down towards the shoreline and stuff like that. As it's bottling up, you like hear this marching going on, and you know, from behind you see this, like, you know, at first it's just, you know, guns in the air and the roar of these machines, and then this giant army starts coming over this bridge. It just starts rolling over all these panicking people and these weird zombie-like creatures, right? Like out of some American horror movie, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then this weird army, this strange battalion is not made up of living beings. It looks more like undead corpses, more reminiscent of like mummies or something, and they are in some sort of weird battalion with these strange, unusually mounted armored vehicles with these, you know, don't know if that's a weapon or whatever mounted on it, but nothing like you've ever seen before. And they just, like I said, march right over the bridge, unimpeded by any obstacles, just roll over these people, right? And, you know, just before they get to the other side of this bridge, as this army's marching, it's like all the bodies and, you know, dead whatevers that they sort of rolled over just sort of like get caught up in this whirlwind. And this tornado of bodies sort of just starts flying up, rising up into the sky, right? And they drag up. You know, and as you follow this chain of bodies up into the sky, you notice it go like, you know, into the storm, into the clouds, and into like almost some sort of black hole in the midst of this of the storm, right? And it's, you know, so you're following along, watching these bodies get swept up, forming this like massive, you know, construct going into this hole in the sky. And as you're gazing up and you're looking into this black hole in the sky, you get this really weird feeling that, you know, as you're gazing into the abyss gazes into you, like it's looking back at you, like, you know, like it's an eye itself. You're looking into it, you know, the iris, right? Or the pupil, right?
Yeah, the storm itself.
Yeah.
Looking right into the eye.
Yeah, and like that, like you get this intense, overwhelming fear, and like it snaps you awake, right? You get that that jolt, like you know, when you're falling and you hit the ground, but you wake up before you hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that feeling. It's like whoa, and you're awake again.
Scary.
So
Very scary. Good morning, Oleg. How are you doing today?
Well, I have a bit of a sore head today. I was spending late night discussing the benefits of using vodka to increase focus. It did not work out well for me. I lost the contest.
Well, to set your day off right, here is I took the liberty of getting you a coffee with vodka. We need to go talk to the colonel right away.
It's like you know me now. I appreciate your love.
All of our investigating has come up with something new. I've had a new dream. We need to go talk to the colonel
rather
right
unusual.
away.
Usually you tell me not to have the vodka in the morning. What is this?
It's a good day.
It's a good day.
It's a good
Excellent.
day. We have more information.
Excellent.
what if it isn't my two favorite agents?
Good day, sir.
I think you say this to all agents, Colonel.
What would make you say that?
It just seems like theme.
Oh, wow. I suppose you don't have to be my two favorite officers.
No, just wait. I'm very happy with favorite officer.
Yes, I thought so.
Yes. So, our investigation into those dreams, into
Yes,
the
have you managed to
premonitions.
yield any results, Nadia?
Yes, we found a woman in Stalingrad who was having these dreams.
Yes,
as well.
I heard about your trip out there.
Yes.
How did that turn out?
Good, very informative. I've also had dreams of my own lately, some that I have not disclosed yet, because I wanted to wait to see if it would keep happening. So these dreams now, they again bring us to a great forest, darkening, storms, tempests, same thing. This time, however, with my meditation, I embraced the lightning when it struck me, and I felt a new wave of abilities and powers in my mind. And I could hear thousands of people in my mind all at the same time. I couldn't tell what they were saying, but I could hear everyone. And then I was transported back into a weird realm of dragons and castles, and I saw a huge nuclear blast over Russia, and it's just death washed calm over. There's ashes and people frozen in time, and
I think this
every
coffee
time
tastes
that
less good.
I fall asleep or close my eyes for even a second, I'm transported back to this place over and over and over again.
With your permission, Colonel, I drink only vodka right now.
It gets even better. The Egyptians, at no point in time that I know of in our earthly history, have they ever had tanks or technology, but in this dream they did. They had legions of undead in their battalion and these amazing technological weapons, armor, something.
Most concerned.
Then all of a sudden there was this big tornado that was building out of bodies in the sky, like a cyclone almost, and in that there was this omnipresence of sorts of, it was looking down, it was conscious. It could tell, it could look at me, it could see me. It knew. And I was scared of that. I was very scared of that.
Yes.
So they're getting stronger, and I'm seeing more stuff. This, again, with everything else we've been investigating in, we need to take some action.
Well, it is interesting. Recently, in the past couple days, there have been interesting things coming out of other regions on the planet. You know, it's interesting because recently we've been having these reports. For example, people report seeing fairies in Scotland, creatures of myth, and that sort of thing. And apparently, there's lots of earthquake activity in England, Great Britain area as well. Very unusual. There's been doomsayers, religious priests, streets of France.
That matches up something that I saw in my premonition. I saw a great big pope who in the sky was like a big TV, like a hologram. And he was waving forth his arm, and there were legions of people just attacking other people, being driven off of bridges and corralled like cattle.
Yes, interesting. We have heard of that in North America there are strange creatures being seen in woods and swamps. Unpopulated regions suddenly are having a new life.
Like the vegetation grows over.
And
yeah.
Wave of disappearances in India. Much people gone.
Very curious.
And yet, Mother Russia remains untouched.
Well, there has also been reports, as you say, with Egyptian. We hear reports that people are finding ruins restored in desert. Like they came out of sand and were there for.
Yeah.
Already there for many, many years.
That matches with some of the things that I've seen in these visions.
It's interesting, and in the last couple of days, there has been unusual rise and spike in paranormal phenomena, especially concerning some psychic abilities. We've had some children manifesting in numbers that we have not seen before. It's kind of new, and later, teenagers and such, some young adults even. Interesting that most of the time, if people are going to manifest these abilities, they happen during the puberty era. But to have children manifesting these kind of powers is quite unusual indeed. So we have been sending a few agents out to check on these new potential recruits for future, but I am greatly concerned that if we have some mass numbers of people in your positions, that it could jeopardize the things we have built with this institution.
Please.
Our department could be at risk.
Forgive me, Colonel. My experience with Nadia is that most of the time when she is this concerned, I think it concerns more than just our department at this point. At what point are we going to involve the army and other officials in our investigations? I am starting to feel that perhaps Nadia is right to be concerned.
Yes, I think it's about time we took this up to the general.
Yes. Throughout all the dreams and the premonitions, I can't help but feel that I'm somehow instrumental in stopping whatever fate might befell our country.
Yes, I will definitely go see the general about this. Perhaps it is time we mobilize. A couple of days go by, and you go down, interview a couple people that are manifesting these psychic abilities for the Bureau, right? One high schooler who just got into a fight at school and threw someone through a wall without touching them.
No. Okay.
And they never had anything like that happen to them before, and so you sit them down, bring them in for questioning, and sure enough, they're being able to move stuff. They got some telekinetic powers, moving some objects around the room. So you book them in for further study. All right, so you got a couple days locked down, checking out this individual, and by 7:30 p.m. on 31st of May, you get your call from Colonel Mishkin that all branches of the military have been placed on high alert, and that you are hereby, on notice, and to, make your preparations for, you're on notice to be put in any position you're needed in the, for the next, 48 hours kind of thing. So, when Mishkin phones you, he says that there have been reports of foreign invaders and blackouts occurring around the globe. Reptilian humanoids in America, demons in France, and horrors in India. And a few hours later, 11:30 p.m., you're watching your Russian local news network, and you got the Russian president up there on the TV, and he's like, we in the Soviet Union will be declaring our solidarity with the countries of the United States, France, and India in repelling these invaders from our planet. We do not know where they come from, but we will definitely be sending them back. And Russia denies any involvement of having any relations to any of these invaders.
Oleg, have you seen the news?
I try not to watch news too much. There's too much disturbing things going on. I don't like to hear about the bad people. I usually watch the hockey.
Come and pick me up. We need to go to the bureau.
All right, Nadia. Headache hurts a lot. I get Tylenol.
During your call with Mishkin there, he's all, so be ready. You're on notice. Be ready to pull out immediately. And so the next morning at 6:05 a.m., a metallic bridge drops out of the sky onto Moscow. So at 6:05 a.m., large diamond-shaped storm appeared in the skies over Moscow. Soon afterwards, a giant metal tentacle broke through the sky and smashed onto the Kremlin. That happens. You get another call from Mishkin. You're supposed to report to a base outside of Moscow by 16:30, or by 1700 hours, I guess. Or no, 16:30, yes. You are to be at a briefing on the military base by 16:30. You are to be under the command of a Colonel Morozov.